How Alice Changed My Life, a story of anger, love, and redemption. I was always the introverted guy who preferred being alone rather than going out and socializing. I had anger issues and always kept to myself. It was just easier that way. That was until I met Alice. She was the complete opposite of me, an extroverted girl with a bubbly personality that lit up any room she walked into. I couldn't stand her at first. She was always trying to talk to me and include me in her plans, and I just wanted to be left alone. But Alice was persistent. She would show up at my locker, sit next to me in class, and invite me to hang out with her and her friends. I was annoyed at first, but there was something about her that I couldn't resist. One day, Alice convinced me to go to a party with her. I was nervous and uncomfortable, but Alice encouraged me to step out of my comfort zone and have some fun. It was the first time I had been to a party, and I was surprised to find that I was enjoying myself. Alice had a way of making everything seem okay. She was always smiling and laughing, and it was contagious. I started to open up to her and let her into my world. I told her about my anger issues and how I always kept to myself because I was afraid of losing control. To my surprise, Alice didn't judge me. Instead, she listened and offered me advice. She told me that it was okay to feel angry, but that I needed to find healthy ways to deal with my emotions. She suggested I try a new hobby or talk to a therapist. Alice's words stuck with me, and I started to see her in a different light. I began to realize that she wasn't just some annoying girl who wouldn't leave me alone. She was a kind and caring person who genuinely wanted to help me. As I started to open up more and try new things, Alice was there every step of the way. She introduced me to new people, took me to new places, and helped me discover a side of myself that I never knew existed. Before I knew it, I was in love with her. Alice had taken this angry, introverted guy and turned him into a social butterfly who wasn't afraid to let his guard down. I never would have thought that I could feel this way about someone, but Alice was different. She saw something in me that I never saw in myself, and for that, I will always be grateful. But our story wasn't without its challenges. My anger issues would still rear their ugly head from time to time, and Alice would get overwhelmed by my emotional baggage. We had a big fight once, and I stormed off in anger. I thought it was the end of our relationship, but Alice wouldn't give up on me. She encouraged me to take responsibility for my actions and work on myself. I went back to therapy and learned new coping mechanisms for my anger. With Alice's help, I became a better person, and our relationship grew stronger as a result. Just when we thought everything was perfect, we were faced with a new challenge. Alice started receiving threatening messages from an unknown sender. She became increasingly paranoid and fearful, and it was taking a toll on our relationship. I offered to help her investigate the source of the messages, and we worked together to track down the culprit. We eventually uncovered a shocking revelation. It was Alice's ex-boyfriend, who was jealous of our relationship. With the threat eliminated, Alice and I breathed a sigh of relief. We had been through so much together, and our love was stronger than any obstacle we faced. Looking back on our story, I realize how lucky I am to have met Alice. She came into my life when I needed her the most.